In 1938, Colfax played St. John in a football game. I think it was in December, in a snowstorm, and St. John won 6-0. Oh, I was end, played either end, left or right end. For whatever reason, John Crawford, he was a sheriff in the Waltons, he decided that he was going to avenge that loss. So he got together all the ex-players that he could find that were still alive and able, and suit them up, and we'll replay this football game. You know, that game was the biggest thing that hit Colfax, and you know, a town of 2,800 people. I don't know how many years, but it really did. Big parade, and this was written up in the People magazine, Seattle Times. It was in England, in the newspaper in England. So it was worldwide, if you want to use that term, I guess.
Okay. All right, go team. Let's go. Ready? Go. What number? What's the number? On 1.
Late into the fourth quarter, Colfax got lucky. And we threw a pass to Babe Lyons, one of the fellows who lives down in Southern California at the present time. And he scored a touchdown, so Colfax won the game 6-0. The point after failed. And that was the same score that Colfax was defeated by St. John in the first game, 1938. John Crawford decided we should have some sort of a monument because nothing like this had ever happened in the world. So he made contact with a fellow up north, Jack Buell, up at St. Mary's, and got him to go out in the woods and cut the logs and haul them down to Colfax. And the city of Colfax brought their backhoe down, dug the hole, and they laid them out, and we went down and we treated them all, painted them all with creosote and treated them before we put them in the ground. And the city dug the hole with the backhoe. Then the Washington Water Power at that time, they brought down their big, huge boom truck, and they lifted each log into place. And tied them together. And then he got Jonathan LeBeam. LeBeam, I think is the way you pronounce the last name, is a carver from Southern California. And he came up and carved the likeness of each of the players and put their names in on the pole. We all contributed, donated money to each to have our likeness put on the pole. Then after the pole was completed, it had kind of a dedication ceremony. Well, we've also volunteered to make it a little park, put in paving stones, a picnic table. We bought a legend, a big granite legend that they wrote on the legend of the game. It's down there now. Turned it all over to a city, and now it's a so-called the Codger Park. If you wanted to find the Codger Park, well, go look for the Codger Pole. The sad part is, of course, there's only about 2 of us left out of that original bunch that played in that game. And of course, everybody's picture's on this pole up here. I happen to be up about in the middle of the pole, Joe Henderson. But as I said, when you look at that pole, there's only about 2 people left that are still alive, to my knowledge, that was on this pole or played in that game. It's the only thing in the world like that. There's not another thing that I know of like that. You see your Indian totem poles, American Indian totem poles, but I've never ever heard of a Codger pole. But it was something that you'll take to the grave with you. You'll never forget it.